We're all set for the opening game of Group G at the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Dominican Republic face Jordan in the battle of the underdogs. If either are to upset the odds here in Shenzhen, this is must win on game day one. Yes, we are live for the first time from the Shenzhen-based sports centre here on the southeast coast of China. A very warm welcome from myself, Tim Long, alongside FIBA Hall of Famer Andrew Gaze. The wait is finally over. 3 years after being selected as one of the 8 host cities for this historic event, World Cup basketball is set to be played here in Shenzhen for the very first time.
Spot on, Tim, and welcome. It's going to be an exciting World Cup series, and 32 teams makes it pretty tough going, and always great the opening night to see the teams as they present for the very first time. And in today's one, I think we got a genuine battle. 2 teams that, as you mentioned, up against the odds to squeak into the next round, but stranger things have happened, and both these teams have enough talent to test the very best. They're not as good as the very best, but they have enough to test it. So hopefully we're going to see a couple of cracking games today, and as we progress on through the group.
It was a fantastic finish to Jordan's qualifying campaign back in February. They ended a run of 4 straight defeats by beating China in their second to last game, and then needed to end New Zealand's 10-game winning streak to qualify. Having lost by 26 points in Christchurch, they won by 6 on home court in Amman to seal just their second ever appearance here at a FIBA World Cup. And now they're looking for their first ever win in this competition.
My word, and as we mentioned, they've got some good talent in their team. But one of the big factors is they've got some good size, and they led the Asian zone in rebounding throughout the qualification period. Joey Stuyving, very experienced coached a lot throughout this region. He's coached in China, he's coached in Qatar, he's coached in the UAE, and he brings a wealth of experience to this Jordan team.
We'll go through the rosters in just a few minutes as we see the introduction of the 2 sets of players. And the Dominican Republic out next. They only just squeezed through in qualifying as well. They lost their final game, in fact, to Brazil to finish with a 7-5 record overall, but they edged a tiebreaker with Uruguay to finish as the 4th placed team from the 2 groups of the America qualifiers with the best record.
That's right, and currently ranked 18th in the world, and very, very experienced team they bring to the table. 7 of their players are 31 years of age or older, and that on paper can look a little tricky, but when you're talking about bringing a group together, these guys have been there, done that. They've seen a lot of variables throughout their career, so there's a far better chance of bringing a group like that together at short notice. And again, they have a superstar coach in Nestor Garcia. He's been prevalent right throughout the region as well, and he's come in late but had a very significant impact immediately.
There you go, we see the head coaches as well. It would be a shock for either of these 2 to make the second round. They'll surely have to win this one and then cause a big upset as well. The favourites to progress, France and Germany, are straight in at the deep end. It'll be a mega matchup between those 2 in around 4 hours' time. It is a group that does have the 2 clear favourites in reigning bronze medalist France and a former bronze medalist Germany. Dominican Republic set to compete at just their 3rd World Cup. Jordan at just their 2nd ever. The 2 sets of players both out on the court, and we are ready for the 2 national anthems.
Firstly, national anthem of Jordan. 女士们、先生们，请全体起立，演奏双方运动队国歌。首先演奏约旦国歌。And now, national anthem of Dominican Republic. 下面演奏多米尼加共和国国歌。
We're ready for the opening game of Group G here at the 2019 FIBA World Cup. The Dominican Republic looking for just their third ever win in the competition. Jordan looking for their very first. Whoever gets it will remain in contention for the second round. Myself, Tim Long, alongside Australian legend Andrew Gaze here in China. As we look at our officiating team in just a moment for this first game, Shanghai, where Turkey and Japan are about to tip off, and here in Shenzhen are the final two host cities to get underway. 8 venues altogether. It is the biggest World Cup of all time, and how appropriate that achievement is officially completed here in the City of Innovation. Jordan arrived here with a trio of key players who experienced their only previous World Cup campaign 9 years ago. Captain Zaid Abbas led the team in points and rebounds in 2010. Centre Hamad Hussein was just 20 at that tournament. And shooting guard Musa Al-Awadi has scored in double figures on average at his last 3 major tournaments. And they have the additions here as well of naturalised scorer Dar Tucker and Fenerbahce centre Ahmad Al-Dweri, who might just put the wind in the Falcons' wings.
Absolutely. We take a look at their starting lineup, and it's a decent one at that. And the man that we're going to be talking about is Dar Tucker. He's this man on your screen right here. He is a prolific scorer. Throughout the Asian qualifiers, he had averaged 21.8 points per game. He also chipped in with the almost 6 rebounds, so he's all over the place. Prolific scorer, equal the all-time points scored in a G League game, playing with the Reno Bighorns with 58 points. So look for him to put up some numbers.
The Dominican Republic have been dealt a blow ahead of the tournament with their 2 NBA players missing. No Karl Anthony Towns or Al Horford. And they go with a roster of wily veterans, 7 of the 12 in their 30s. It is a squad that has an average age of 30, led by 37-year-old forward Ayulis Baez and 33-year-old guard Victor Liz.
Yeah, Victor Liz, he's led the team in scoring during the qualifying as well. He's averaging almost 14 points a game. He's 188 centimetres tall, and he's explosive. He can get to the rim. He can create his own shot. He's going to have to come up big to put points on the board for a team that is full of veterans.
Baez, Liz, Ramon and 30-year-old centre Eloy Vargas all return after playing in the last World Cup. And the build-up and the talking is just about over. The opening game of Group G here at the 2019 FIBA World Cup is just moments away. We heard a moment of Joey sniping on the Jordan bench. Nestor Che Garcia, head coach for the Dominican Republic. They've lost their debut game in both of their previous 2 appearances at the competition. They're 2-7 overall at the World Cup. Jordan have never won a game in the competition, having gone 0-5 in 2010.
Garcia, he's, as we mentioned earlier, been around a lot. He's coached Uruguay, Argentina, Venezuela. Did a heroic job to get Venezuela into the 2016 Euro Games, and he's stepped in, and watching him practice yesterday got him really well organised, playing with a lot of passion, which you see a lot with the teams from the Americas.
He only took over as head coach in March after Melvin Lopez, who's now an assistant, successfully guided the team through qualifying. Here we go then. Myself, Tim Long, alongside FIBA Hall of Famer Andrew Gaze, set to talk you through the action here in Shenzhen. The long journey to the World Cup is complete for these two. 21 months ago, 80 teams begun the qualifying campaign for this competition. Dominican Republic and Jordan both waited until the final game to book their ticket, but here they are on the grand stage again. Something to savour for 2 nations who've managed just 3 previous World Cup appearances between them, and now they're looking to leave their mark on the 2019 edition. Dar Tucker, the player who will have to leave his mark if Jordan are going to progress. So much responsibility on his shoulders for scoring, and on the big centre who wins the opening tip, Ahmad Al-Dweri, and Jordan have the opening possession. Abbas, the captain. He's going to take the first shot with a hand in his face off the mark. Dominican Republic looking to push the ball. First touch for Liz as he moves it back. Solano towards the elbow and a wild pass.
It's going to be a little nervous. The team's filling themselves out, despite these guys, many of them with vast experience. When you're on the World Cup stage and with this unique opportunity, and both these teams would understand and know what's ahead in the group and appreciate that a win is essential in regards to having any chance to progress.
Tucker fires it in into the paint. Going to work is Aldueri. Misses the shot though, and the rebound grabbed by Dominican Republic. There's a high catch and 2 turnovers.
Sloppy start.
And the quarterback pass down the floor leads to the touchdown. And the first points for Jordan, scored by Freddie Ibrahim.
Really sloppy start by the Dominican Republic. Poor passing, and as we said, nerves playing a part. They need a good set here, get it through some hands.
Jordan looking to force the 3rd turnover in 70 seconds. This time commit the foul. It's on the captain Abbas. Zaid Abbas, who was a key part of the Jordan team that reached their only previous World Cup in 2010. Here's Liz, hands it off on the perimeter. Solano looks to drive into the lane, fakes the pass, nice footwork as well, couldn't finish, but the follow-up is good. Eloy Vargas picking up the pieces. Now Jordan in danger of turning it over as well, and they have done. Solano, a chance to pull up for the 3, the first triple of this group.
Good start to Liz, get himself going, knock down the 3-ball, see it go through the rim, and we saw there the Dominican Republic, they are elite as far as steals. They led the Americas qualification in steals, so they like to get up and in, play a real physical game defensively, and we're seeing that already.
Aldueri left unguarded in the high post. Now Tucker, shot clock down to 5 as he puts up the 3, too long. And here come Dominican Republic again. It's Liz inside, kicks it to the far side. Rojas stepping in for the long range 2, falls short. Abbas underneath the boards. It will be a Jordan ball.
Almost another steal there. Interesting to see the styles early on as they feel their way out. Jordan, for mine, they really need to control the tempo. Dominican Republic, they can get up and down, and then we see Liz, he's coming down, he's prepared to take the early 3-ball wide open. That's automatic for him. Jordan really need to be concerned about the tempo of the game, not just in this game, right throughout. When you're the underdog, take the wind out of the ball, try and slow things down. Not like that, sloppy.
Freddie Ibrahim, who was a late addition to the roster, he's just 22, the youngest player on the roster, starting at point guard and turning the ball over. Nothing going for Jordan since that first score. The 37-year-old Baez across to the far side to Rojas. And now Liz. Solano. Drinking and jiving back to Eulis Baez, who played in the EuroLeague with Gran Canaria last season. Here's Rojas, wide open look for 3. They've nailed another 8 points without reply for Dominican Republic.
It is, and not only are they scoring, it's the quality of shot they're getting wide open. Some really good sets by Dominican Republic. They're really prepared to go through the process. They get their cutting action, get into an on-ball, and that time just a defensive breakdown gets wide open.
And they really have recovered after those 2 opening turnovers in the first minute. Abbas can't find Dwary, but it's still Jordan ball. Ahmad Al-Dwary, if you recognise the big Jordan centre, is also known as Ahmet Duveriolu, plays with Fenerbahce. Ibrahim will inbound off the baseline. Here is Al-Dwary. Dar Tucker moves it on to Abbas, little head fake, kicks it back out. 3-point shot for Jordan, won't go down, and the drought continues for them.
Al-Dwary just coming over the back. I like the aggressiveness on the boards, trying to get after it. That time just reaching over, gets picked up for the foul.
The EuroLeague champion with Fenerbahce in 2017, a 2-time Turkish League champion as well. Solano across to Rojas, here's Liz. The Dominican danger man misses this one. And there is Dwere on the defensive glass this time, showing he can carry the ball down the floor as well. The big man goes coast to coast.
Not only that, how's the little Euro step at the end of it? Goes one way, comes back to the other. Nice by the big fella. That's poor defensive transition by the Dominican Republic, but this defense by Jordan. And maybe it's those nerves. You can see that
Vargas was wide open for the mid-range two. And there's a...
Even after that basket, though, it took 4 or 5 seconds for any of the Jordan players to actually get over half court. So sometimes that nervous energy can knock the wind out of you. They want to control the tempo, but they need to go from one end to the other a little quicker than what we're seeing so far.
Dominican Republic with a 6-point lead. Jordan trying to eat into it now. Halawadi looking to take the ring road around the defense, kicks it back out. Tucker closely guarded by Rojas. He puts it up, contested from the outside and misses. And Jordan's main offensive weapon hasn't got going yet.
No, Tucker needs to get going, but that's a tough shot. That's one they've got to work for him a little harder, running through some sets. If they're the sort of shots that he's going to have to make, it's going to be a long night for Jordan.
More space for Victor. Liz and Dominican Republic on fire from the outside early on.
It is. It's automatic from the perimeter. They've got to close him out, make him put it to the deck.
It's a couple of threes for him already. Dwere looking to use his muscle inside and was fouled by Vargas.
Simple stuff. If you're going to let the big fella just back you in like that, it's always going to be tough. You'd suspect that they're going to have to send some double teams, send players to him, because he's got good size, good hands around the basket, moves pretty well.
A 9-point Dominican lead, but that was their 3rd foul of the quarter. Ibrahim in, and there he goes! Ahmad Edouari.
That's right. Going upstairs, a beautifully underneath out-of-bounds executed play.
Liz, deficit down to 7. Vargas turning into the near double team, kicks it back out. Deep three, so Lano won't go. Rebound Tucker. Midway point of the first quarter. All that big dunk from Jordan's big man, get them going. Tucker misses, there he is again, almost a carbon copy. Ahmad Dwere carrying Jordan.
Dwere putting a lid on Tucker's work. I like the aggressive drive by Tucker rather than just settling for the perimeter shot.
Vargas hands it off to Liz. Liz around the center, back out to the perimeter. Solano, there's the step to the side 3. Rojas off the mark. And now all of a sudden, it's Jordan with the wind in their sails. Here goes Abbas underneath the hoop. Careful not to step on the baseline. And they turn it over anyway. Solano will slow it down. And they'll play in the half court. Ulis Baez, the veteran, short with that one. It's amazing how quickly momentum can shift.
Oh my word, it can, and usually it's generated from the defense. The other thing is sometimes good executed plays don't get rewarded because of missed shots. But that man there, Liz, he's not going to miss too many. And again, wide open. When you've got a pure scorer like that, that just once he gets his feet set, it's tough to stop. You've got to close out hard and make him put it to the deck and do something different.
Here's Mendoza into the game, hands it off to Ramon. Shot clock to 5 as he moves back out to the perimeter. Rojas, they're going to have to put it up here. It's Bez for the 3. The buzzer won't go. Tucker the rebound. He's looking to go through the gears, lost the ball momentarily. And now they'll have to play in the half court. Tucker looking to drive the baseline, forces it in, and they've got their main scorer going as well. They have closed a 9-point gap down to 3.
That's just bully ball by Tucker. We saw him miss his first couple. This last 2, just putting it to the deck and bullying his way to the basket.
Ramon off to Mendoza. Fascinating first quarter developing here. Baez squeezes it inside. Lovely pass to Roberts to stop the rock.
It's the execution. You think of Dominican Republic, they got their 15 points and 10 of those have come off assists. They've already got 5 assists in the game, so good offensive sets.
Another field goal for Alduere, found nicely by Abbas, and he forced it in this time, using his height advantage off the backboard. 6 for Alduere to match the 6 from Victor Liz. Mendoza for 3. They were all going down at the start, and now they're not for Dominican Republic. Tucker pirouette into the paint, puts it in with the contact, and a chance to tie from 9 down.
Sometimes coaches can complicate the games with all these different fancy sets, but right now for Jordan, it's just get the ball to this man. He's putting it to the deck and getting to the rim. This time goes to the line for the N1, but he is a big unit. And with his scoring prowess, they close out hard. That's what Dominican Republic do. They get in the lanes, they want to cause those turnovers. And he's been effective of finding his way to the rim.
He's a big game player as well. The must-win final qualifier against New Zealand. He produced 25 points, 14 rebounds and 8 assists. This is the and one though. Alduere battling away for the offensive rebound, and they get it. Tucker pulls the trigger on a 3-pointer. Halfway down and back out again.
He's not shy, he's not going to be bashful. Already now he's 2 of 6 from the field. At 13 shots as a team, he's got 6 of them.
Roberts hands it off. 3-point shot for Monteiro. And the rebound, Ibrahim. Jordan a chance to try and take the lead for the first time since the first score. Ibrahim dancing with the defense, getting away via the screen of Alduere, pulling up but missing the shot. That's going to go beyond the baseline off Dominican fingertips.
It's been a good 4 or 5 minutes for Jordan after a shaky start. There's that underneath out of bounds, beautifully executed. That's a great pass as well. And this man, Tucker's taking matters into his own hands. Alduere, he's just a really efficient. You can see the maturity with his experience playing overseas in the EuroLeague.
Here's Alawadi into Alduere, looking to hit double figures in the first quarter. Misses the baby hook though. Ramon. Monteiro across to the far side as they move it around the perimeter. Mendoza into the paint. Bit of space, but Roberts wants to attack inside and got it to go.
The Dominican Republic, throughout the qualifying period, they led the Americas in points in the paint. You can see why. It's not just about posting up, guys. It's how they put the ball to the deck and can find their way to the rim.
Tucker goes onto the left hand, dribble drive, rides the contact mid-air and scores again. A chance for another 3-point play.
Tucker just can go both ways. We've seen him go with his right and the left on the penetration, and again just using that brute strength. You can see the excitement from the Jordan bench. But Tucker, I got to watch Jordan practice yesterday, and he couldn't have been more under the radar. Barely took a shot in their practice session yesterday, just preparing for today, and he's turning it on early doors. There's not much sophistication. 3 of 7 from the field.
He missed the and one last time. Can he produce this time for the tie? 79 seconds remaining in the quarter. Yes, he can. We are neck and neck. 17-17. Jordan level from 9 down. Monteiro. Waiting for some movement, goes across to Mendoza. Back to Monteiro on the perimeter. There's the drive inside, turns it over though to Abdeen. Abdeen leading the fast break for Jordan, runs into traffic and turns it over.
Just tried a little too much that time. Good idea, try and put some heat on the rim, and just unlucky coming off his foot.
Final minute of the opening quarter of the opening game here in Group G at the FIBA World Cup. Which team will take a lead into the first break? Shot clock down to the final 7 seconds. The floater from mid-range will fall for Ronald Ramon. Dominican Republic ahead by 2. His first shot. Abdeen. Alamarche. Tucker. There's a 5 or 6 second differential between shot and game clock. Step back three for Tucker, misses. Still waiting for his first from the outside. Garcia. Here's Ramon. He'll hold it for the final few seconds, take that three-pointer. And what a way to get it to go right at the buzzer at the end of the first. 5 quick-fire points from Ronald Ramon to finish the first with a flurry from Dominican Republic. They had a 9-point lead early on. Jordan were able to come back and level. Dominican Republic back up by 5 at the first break. At the end of one here in Shenzhen, Dominican Republic 22, Jordan 17.
If I call your name, I'm just calling your name.
Take a look at the stats. The Dominican Republic shooting the ball really well, 50% from the field and a healthy 40% from the three-point line. And a lot of that just comes down to the defense of Jordan. Too many breakdowns and how they're guarding Dominican Republic in the half court. And Liz, that man got Dominican Republic going early on. Full credit to Jordan, the way they bounced back. Real concern that last minute and a half when Jordan went to their second unit, it did look, you could notice the difference on the floor. All of a sudden you take him out to Ahmed Al-Daweri, and of course the other veteran, Zaid Abbas, and you don't have that experience on the floor, particularly on the defensive end. Things start to break down, but full credit to Dominican Republic to take advantage of what Jordan put out there.
The first quarter of World Cup basketball here in Shenzhen was a real roller coaster ride. A 9-point Dominican Republic lead. Tucker and Al-Daweri inspiring Jordan to come back and level. And then Dominican Republic inspired by Ronald Ramon in the closing minute to open up a 5-point gap. 6 points for Victor Liz, leads the way for Dominican Republic. The 7 points for Dar Tucker is surpassed by the 8 from Ahmed Al-Daweri. Those two combining for 15 of Jordan's 17 points.
Tim, if you had a chance to download that app, the FIBA World Cup basketball app, it's sensational. All the information you need in the one location. It is superb.
And so is this game so far. Here we go, start of the second quarter. Dominican Republic up by 5 and starting with the ball. Garcia. Ramon. Garcia again. Here's Roberts. Mendoza across to the far side. Ramon, who's got the hot hand, and he picks up right where he left off at the end of the first.
He did, and Joey Steving, the coach for Jordan, he saw that last couple of minutes when he brought in that second unit, looked very, very shaky. Straight away, he's gone back to most of his starters, bringing them back in. Particularly this man, looked like a travel.
Al-Daweri gets one-on-one on the inside and makes it count.
You can see the advantage he's got down low, just huge. Time looked like he might have got away with a little walk. 10 points now to the big fella.
Double figures after less than 11 minutes. Dominican Republic will hit right back, and Ronald Ramon will hit right back in the battle of the leading scorers as well. That's 10 for him, and all of them have come over the last 2 minutes of play. He's not missed a shot yet. Tucker, again riding mid-air contact and again scoring. Dar Tucker is up to 9.
That help, if they're going to send the help man, the rotation's got to come a lot earlier. If Dar Tucker can get that deep into the paint, he's very efficient.
And these two really trading blows now, back and forth, every shot falling. Dominican Republic up by 8. Ibrahim trying to shake off the attentions of Ramon. Far side will hand it off to Tucker, looking to use the screen of Al-Daweri, and a foul. The first foul of the second quarter.
Dominican Republic, you think of how the game's played these days, and even if you look at the stats right now, they're already taken 21 field goal attempts in total. 11 of them have come from the three-point line. That's the nature of the game these days. They're prepared to come in and spray it up, and when you're shooting a very healthy 5 of 11, that puts enormous pressure on the Jordan defense. It means they got to stretch the floor so much and open up those driving lanes like we saw that last time with Ronald Roberts just making his way into the paint for an easy 2.
Here's Abbas going to work. Strong turn towards the basket, misses the shot though. And to contrast that point you were just making, Jordan 0 of 5 from three-point range. Garcia hands it off. Mendoza across to Solano. They'll drive inside, dish it off to Monteiro. Oh, what a big follow-up to stuff it home. Some Dominican dynamite exploding onto the scene at the World Cup. Look at this flying finish from Ronald Roberts. Rocking the rim, and that will force the timeout from Jordan.
Beautiful play, wasn't on the follow-up. Someone needs to get a body on it. Dominican Republic's got great size and athleticism, and that time just a free path to the rim on that rebound. They're the little plays that they've got to come up with. You can see clearly Jordan got that athletic advantage, and real good timeout right now. 10-point lead to the Dominican Republic. Timing's everything on this. This one could get away from Jordan if they don't tighten up on the defensive end.
Come downhill, okay? Same thing with you. Try to show them that they on ball. Try to show and hedge a little so they can't come downhill. Hey, when that penetration comes down, we got to feel inside of those post guys when they help. Hey, let's go blast here to get some movement, okay? Let's look to get the ball inside if somebody's open. Blast, okay? Move, get some movement going here, all right? Come on, we need stops, guys. 10-0 run. 10-0 run is not.
Joey Stiving there, just concentrating more on the defensive end. When he's talking about showing, what he's referring to there, the defender guarding the screener has to come a little higher. So they're going to force the ball carrier to the screen, and then the help's going to come from the screener. But you're very vulnerable on the roll-off pass on that if you don't put pressure on the ball. So good in theory, but outside of that, you also need pressure on the ball in order to help on those roll-off passes and the rotation. Ronald Roberts, he's come in and had an immediate impact, hasn't he? 4 of 4 from the field. And when you're shooting from point blank, you can understand why the percentages are so high.
Including that huge putback, and right off the inbound pass, Jordan very nearly turning it over. In fact,
Freddie Ibrahim has been called for the foul. That is a real sloppy play coming out of the timeout. Couldn't even get the ball inbound. Great pressure, full court extended defense, and then just the push by Freddie Ibrahim.
Here's Monteiro moving it to Mendoza. Handing off to Solano. Monteiro shot clock's down to 3 here. They've got to quicken the offense. Solano will put it up for 3 at the buzzer. Ricochets into the hands of Alduere. The first double-digit lead of the game for Dominican Republic. Dart Tucker looking to change that. Misses the shot, grabbed by Abbas off the boards. He misses as well. Alduere, third time lucky perhaps. He'll have to earn them both from the line.
Alduere just using his size down low, right around the basket. He'll go to the line to shoot a couple. That last play, you saw Dart Tucker again, just head down, get to the rim, trying to draw the foul or finish around the basket. I think that's great action, and Jordan need to see that, but I'm not sure it's the best the very first time down the floor. Get it through some hands, loosen the defense up, create those driving lanes, and then you have a better chance of breaking down the defense. But right there, you're just relying on skill and athleticism and strength on that one-pass offense.
And they need each and every point they can get at the moment as Alduere misses the first foul shot but makes the second. Back to a single-digit deficit. Rojas hands it off to Solano. Trapped by Ibrahim. Mendoza looking to drive the lane, floats one over the top of the giant, who then grabs the rebound. Aldueri ignites the fast break onto Ibrahim. Defense backed away from him, and he made them pay.
Good control, came down, stopped, popped, they all collapsed, and he just makes a free throw. At this level, when you're that wide open from the free throw line, those shots need to be automatic.
Oh, nice draw of the defense to dish it off to Ronald Roberts, who's 5 of 5 from the field for 10 points, and now has a foul shot as well.
And there you see there's the help coming from Roberts' man. So he's come, that's where you need that extra rotation. When you're going to show on that screen, so if you're defending Roberts and he's the screen and you help, you must get help on the roll-off, or else those plays are going to be on all night. Someone's got to tag the roller.
He makes the and one and is yet to miss in this game. Ronald Ramon and Ronald Roberts came in, and since the final minutes of the first quarter, they've not missed a shot between them. 9 of 9 from the field, combining for 21 points.
Almost all of them from point-blank range.
Oh, Aldueri stretching every fibre of his fingertips to tip it home. 8 points the deficit. Garcia to Mendoza. Solano runs into the sizable frame of Aldueri, kick to the corner. Mendoza for the 3, got it.
There is just no pressure on the ball. Jordan really reactive on every single pass. They're there, they're attending, but they're not influencing the ball. And the Dominican Republic just picking them off and good enough to knock down the perimeter shots or get to the rim for the point-blank shots.
You just saw those 3-point numbers we were referring to earlier. 6 of 13 now for Jordan. 0 of 5 rather for Jordan. 6 of 13 for Dominican Republic. As Abbas misses on the inside.
That's a terrible shot at this stage of the game. Dominican Republic getting on track. Abbas is a big part of it, but that's a tough, tough shot under pressure.
Here goes Mendoza, following up just in front of the foul line this time. A 5-point flourish from Mendoza, and a timeout again for Jordan, who just can't seem to solve their problems.
No, it's not. And again, you can see the movement. There's much more player movement, ball movement. Defense is caught out. If you don't get any help off those screens, that time Mendoza comes off. Again, that mid-range, which is a dying art, analytics say that that's a bad shot to me. If you can knock it down, that's a good shot in my book, but a lot of coaches don't want those mid-range ones. They want plays on the rim or a 3-ball, but good execution. They run their little flex cuts, a little bit of motion, misdirection.
Get out, baby. You gotta be there. Can't, no accident and knowing about that. You gotta get out there and get it done. Hey, wanna go flat here. Flat. He's trying to get you on-ball screen. Get some action going, all right? Plenty time. We need to get stops on this side. Right here. We're getting beat. Every time it's scored. We need stops from everybody. Here we go, Coach. You got anything? We gotta contain their guards, man. We got to contain their guards. And that may be more help from the ball screen. Defense on 3. 1, 2, 3.
And as you can expect, Joey Stubing there just completely 100% focusing on what's going on the defensive end, because they got some issues, and aggression on the ball, being able to push the Dominican Republic out of what they're doing, because right now the execution is so easy.
And those easy shots have led to Dominican Republic shooting 67% on the inside, 46% from downtown.
Oh, 57% in total. That's way, way too high, and is reflective of your defense. Teams can get hot every now and again, and sometimes the stats can be misleading, but right now you attribute a lot of it just to the way the Jordan team is playing some defense.
Ibrahim off to Tucker, around the screen of Aldueri, and fouled by Rojas. The 3rd foul on the Dominican Republic as we reach the midway point of the second quarter.
Rojas just trying to get right over the top. And just the clash of the legs, looks like the little trip, not a lot in it. And Rojas a little unlucky because he's trying to do the right thing. He's trying to fight over the top of that screen.
This is the largest lead of the game so far at 13 points. And they turn it over off the inbound Jordan with a backcourt violation.
Turnovers really starting to become an issue, especially when you're trying to play catch-up. Fifth turnover now for Jordan. Sixth, correction. Thought that sounded a bit light on.
That's twice as many as Dominican Republic. Solano with the inbound to Mendoza. Liz. Solano, screen set by Vargas, and an offensive foul.
Vargas just moving his feet ever so slightly, and a lot of that Mendoza, I think it was coming off the on-ball screen. That foul you can almost attribute to the ball carry. You've got to wait until that screen set. Be patient, wait, then drive. If you start driving while the screen is coming to get you, you're going to get those moving screens.
That's 4 fouls on Dominican Republic now, so any for the remainder of the quarter will send Jordan to the foul line. Now Dwary in the high post, looking to drive right down the lane, powering his way through the paint. It's 15 points, 7 of 9 from the field.
He's also got 6 rebounds, so he's having a good first half.
Here's Liz. Pirouette corner of the paint, then lost it under his body, and he's called for the travel as he ran into El Dwere.
Better effort that time by Jordan. You see, even though it makes him turn, just loses the handle. El Dwere just powering to the basket. Gee, for a big man, puts the ball to the deck really well. Around the basket, he's got left and right hand, real good soft hands and good touch.
Vamos a defender. Time on his score. 11 points. Es mucho. Hay que cuidarlo. No te enojes. Run the place.
The words there of Nestor Che Garcia, head coach of Dominican Republic. Apologies that I can't do the translation for you. I don't know if you can.
No, I have struggled with the English language, let alone anything else, so I'm of absolutely no use.
We've debated long enough about a number of pronunciations in English ahead of this one.
We might have already put a few variables in there, but we'll get there.
Forget trying to translate the Spanish. 11 points the lead for Dominican Republic, 39-28. Final 4 minutes approaching of the first half.
Well, you really see the defensive effort by the Dominican Republic.
Alawadi finds its way to El Dwere. Shot clock down to 5 here. Lovely no-look bounce pass. Will he get it back from Abbas? He picks it up just in time and scores to beat the buzzer.
And that's tough because Dominican Republic did everything right on the defensive end. Good ball pressured. In the end, a little fumble around the basket and Jordan get the breaks of the game. But if they continue to play defense like that, they're going to be tough to beat.
And El Dwere, who shot 62% in the EuroLeague this past season, is shooting 80% in the first half of this one. 8 of 10 from the field. There's Mendoza, who missed his first 2 shots. He's now hit 3 in a row.
And that's what happens when you don't offer any help coming off the on-ball screen. Just comes off over and makes a free throw.
Tucker. Only got going momentarily earlier in the game, but it's El Dwere who's scoring all of the points here. What a performance in the first half. He's up to 19.
19 and 6 rebounds, dominating the game.
Still they trail by 9 though. Mendoza. Monteiro contested 3 over the top of the Jordan captain Abbas. Three-point shooting continues. 7 of 14 from the outside for 50%. And the steal leading to the easy 2. At least it should have been. He's blown it, Monteiro. They might just upgrade to the 3 instead. Liz, bang!
Wow, they really didn't deserve that. You miss a bunny layup like that, you really don't deserve it. They come away with it. And not sure what Zaida Bass was doing, bringing the ball up the floor. The guards got to come and get it, get the ball out of the big fella's hands.
Make it 53% from the outside now for Dominican Republic. 8 of 15.
And we were talking earlier about the ball pressure we want to see from Jordan on the defensive end. They need to take a leaf out of what the Dominican Republic are doing. Now, they don't have the same sort of athletes as we take a look at just the easiest of layups. That's harder to miss than make.
Monteiro knew how well they were shooting from the outside, surely.
Liz comes in and tidies up some nasty work.
Here's Tucker, shot clock to 5 and a foul. Dominican Republic wanted to travel.
Now Tucker, they're going to rely on him for the scoring. We've seen that already in the contest and throughout the qualification to get here. But if that's what you're going to rely on to beat this team, just get it to one man and let him put it to the deck and get to the rim. It's going to be a long night. As good as he is, when the defenses start collapsing, he's got to make those tough shots. It's going to be a long night.
It's not even happening from the foul line for Jordan. 2 of 5 now after that miss. Dar Tucker just 1 of 3. Make it 1 of 4. 15 points, the Dominican lead heading into the final 2 minutes of the second quarter. Liz is down. Monteiro. Ramon. And Suero. This is Roberts. He's going to take the uncontested shot, misses it, Abbas the rebound. Tucker, can he get going again? What a burst as he went through the gears and got fouled.
Wow, they've caught an unsportsmanlike foul as well, so he's going to go to the line to shoot a couple, and they'll also get the ball back. Get a look at that on the replay at some stage, but again, just getting to the rim, and they're going to actually review it. Let's have a look. Tucker. No, please, he's just reaching in, trying to deflect the ball. I wouldn't even call it an unsportsmanlike, but officials have gone to the monitor just to check the severity of it. Clearly a play on the ball in my book.
I think it's the pace that Tucker's traveling at that makes it look more of an impact than it actually was.
No doubt there's a foul, but wasn't it anywhere near the head, just come across the arms. Regular unsportsmanlike foul, so gee whiz. That's a tough break for the Dominican Republic. Here it is from a different angle. You see he's just out of position, didn't have his body in front, reaches in, trying to get a hand on the ball. But Tucker goes to the line and shoot a couple where he's had all sorts of difficulty so far this afternoon.
Only 1 of 4 from the line before that one.
Plays in Argentina, and throughout last season, in the mid-70s from the free throw line. So normally a pretty decent free throw shooter.
Starting to find his groove now as he makes both of them off this unsportsmanlike foul. You have to make a legitimate attempt to play the ball.
I think that was.
I'd agree. Because it's unsportsmanlike, Jordan get the ball back as well as the foul shots. So a lifeline towards the end of the first half. They were trailing by 15. Abbas bounce pass to El Dueri, and he loses it.
The shot was going to be easier than the pass. That's the one that Abbas needs to put it up there. You got someone who can rebound. Big fella can just tip it in if it misses.
13 is the gap now. There's a foul on El Hamache.
El Hamache there, just no help on the on-ball screen.
It's only the 3rd foul on Jordan in the second quarter. Joey Stiping with a big job to do in the locker room at half-time, and a big job to do even before then. We'll have a timeout with 77 seconds remaining in the first half.
And that timeout was called by the Dominican Republic. They're trying to really make sure that they don't slip up in this last minute and 17 seconds. Just a couple of possessions. Try and maintain this lead. Keep that nice little buffer going into the half-time. You don't want to give Jordan any sort of momentum to feel good as they go to the locker room. And I reckon that's what this timeout's all about, just to settle down and reinforce the fact that, hey, we've got a nice little, we've worked hard to get this nice advantage. Now just make sure we have no slip-ups.
Juego el handoff. No lo vas, Eduardo. El pick and roll lo jugás vos. Vos cruzás y te quedás en la esquina. Penetrás y lo buscás a él el tiro abierto. Hace box como lo hacemos siempre.
Terrific access we get, and how's some of the views we're getting? Delightful production being put together here by the staff at FIBA and all the broadcasting team. Cameras all over the place. You will not miss an action, any of the action in some of these slow-mo replays. Just gorgeous stuff we're seeing.
And Ahmad El-Doueiri is all over the place as well. 19.6 rebounds in the first half. Jordan still trail by 13 though, and Dominican Republic have the ball off the back of the timeout. Victor Liz. Now Ramon. Ramon is going to drive and pass it to Baez, who misses. Abbas the rebound. Final minute approaching now. Can Jordan eat into this sizable deficit? Tucker. Up to Abbas, the little pump fake. He waits and finds El-Doueiri twisting and turning and missing.
Great pass that time by Tucker.
Abbas a little shy to shoot. The last couple of times he's had the ball in the paint, he's 0 of 4 from the field.
Well, that's right. That's one he just bobbled the pass ever so slightly and just lost his timing on that. But they're the ones you've got to be ready. You know, when Tucker is putting the ball to the floor, defenses are going to collapse. They're going to send some help. So someone's going to be open. Just got to be ready, hands ready. And Zaid Abbas that time with bricklayer hands.
Perhaps can forgive him trying to find El-Doueiri, who's 9 of 12 from the field. Abbas yet to hit one. Tucker working behind the screen of El-Doueiri, pulling up for 3, almost backed it in. It came out though into the hands of Roberts. They're 0 of 6 from the outside now, Jordan.
Probably try for 2 for 1 here, get a quick one off, get another one back.
Suero hands it off to Ramon. Trying to work an opening. Liz has a look at the basket. He'll drive inside instead. Look at that footwork as he skips through a gap that didn't even seem to be there. And Baez misses the open layup.
Baez just tried to put too much spin on it. Just needs to go up, jump up and drop it in rather than spin it in. And they call it a foul and they're in the bonus, so we go the other end of the floor. El-Doueiri going to go to the line to shoot a couple. He has been sensational, as you mentioned, 19.6 rebounds. Where would they be without him?
Was 1 of 2 on his last trip. And it's the first here to hit 20 points in the half.
Nice stroke too. Good release. The big fellas, those big hands, sometimes not always all that efficient, but that's a good looking stroke for a big fella.
Make it 21. So that is 32 combined for Doueiri and Tucker. They've only had 3 players score, Jordan. Freddie Ibrahim has 4 points. They're down by 11. Shot clock turned off at the end of the first half. Ball in Dominican hands with Ramon. They will hold it for the final shot. Will they extend this 11-point lead heading into the interval? He shakes off the defense. They get a second bite of the cherry from downtown this time, and the miss, and that will do it for the first half of the first game here in Group G at the 2019 FIBA World Cup. Dominican Republic lead Jordan by 11, 47 to 36.
Yeah, it's a great first half by the Dominican Republic. They'll be going to the halftime break happy. Look at the field goal percentages. They are excellent. And Jordan, on the other hand, it's the turnovers that really hurt them. We take a look at the points in the paint. Dominican Republic, a lot of that just coming from the penetration. Jordan, almost all theirs coming from points in the paint with the big fella Aldewari just doing his work around the basket. And we've got the leading scorers in Aldewari, just sensational, 21 points. Roberts came in off the bench and gave them a real spark with the 11. And really, Jordan, I think, when they consider they're only 11 points down, just from the eye test, that they still feel like they're very much in this game, because there were certain periods that they looked well and truly out of it.
So heavily reliant, Jordan, though, on Aldewari and Tucker. And as I mentioned a few moments ago, only 3 players for Jordan have scored. To contrast that, Dominican Republic have had 7 players score.
Well, when you think of that, I'm just quickly looking through the stats. Only 5 guys have taken shots. So they haven't had a lot. Their offense is really predetermined. They don't go to their bench a lot, and we saw at the end of that first quarter when they did try to give them a break, it didn't look good. So they're going to be using their main guys for most of the time. But it's the turnovers as well. And Dominican Republic, this is what they've been able to do really, really well. Get to the basket, create around it, the extra pass coming in, and the rotations and the crowd around the basket. And if you don't get a body on someone, Roberts will go upstairs and tuck it in with the 2 hands. It's way too easy for the Dominican Republic.
Ahmed Aldewari's 21 points coming from 9 of 12 shooting. He's got 6 rebounds as well, 3 on the offensive glass. Tucker only 4 of 11 from the field for his 11 points. And Dominican Republic led by the 11 of Ronald Roberts, who's 5 of 6 from the field. And they're also in double figures with Ronald Ramon, who's 4 of 6. And they've had 9 from Victor Liz, including 3 of 3 from the outside, and 7 from Rigoberto Mendoza, who's hit his last 3 shots after missing his first 2. Dominican Republic have an 11-point lead at the half, 47-36 over Jordan. Do join us for the second half in a few minutes' time.
我们是不是有一个工作人员是一个篮板，帮忙拿篮板 ，OK？ 好，第一个准备好了吗？3、2、1 ，Go！ 继续，好，下一个点，好，20秒，先来 play second to go， you gotta keep shooting。Come on， 一起下，很简单的一个位置。 10秒3 seconds. Keep going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. OK， 我们掌声先送给海鹏。那这个时候呢，我们有很多的标志，我们要翻开看有没有标准的标志。哎，有啊。这里。 也是有的，3个工程的标志就等于你们赢取PG5000这个比赛的用球，我们恭喜海鹏。Let's get into the big match, 海鹏。再次感谢海鹏 ，Thank you。
Well,
Number 34.
Nice pass and thrown down by William Gomez. Deck behind the back pass. Oh yes, now we've come to play.
Right now Serbia just moving the ball. Jokic now. Tip pass. Oh baby, did you see that? Starting with Bogdanovic.
Ball fake, and then on the way down with a nice spin of the ball.
Got to get it in. It's in. Mahika breaks through. Mahika to win it. And Puerto Rico, who looked buried, have come all the way back to win. Some huge shots from Huertas has done the damage.
My parents gave me away, so I had no purpose in this life. Yeah. When you educate a woman, you educate a nation. It's a quote from Nelson Mandela, by the way.
Welcome back to Shenzhen, where Dominican Republic have a healthy lead over Jordan. 11 points out of the half. It has been more than that. Jordan just battling to try and stay in touch against the Dominican sharpshooters, who were dominating from downtown. 11 of 27. In fact, shooting 50%, I beg your pardon, from the outside. And Jordan have a big job here in the second half to come back, and so reliant on Dar Tucker and Ahmed Al-Dweri. Those Dominican fans will be pretty pleased with the performance they've seen from their team so far. This is the start of the biggest FIBA World Cup in history. One of the 8 first-round groups being played in 8 different cities. The top 2 from each group progress to the second round, which for the teams in this group will be in Nanjing. They'll join the top 2 from Group H, which also includes Canada, Lithuania, Australia and Senegal. A huge win for Australia over Canada. Is just finishing. You'll be happy with that one.
I'm very happy with that one, because that was going to be a tough one. Canada beat Australia in one of the pre-tournament games in Australia, and did it quite comprehensively too. So it's a high-scoring game. Canada giving up 106 points, and Australia holding Canada to only 86. So good win for Canada. But in this one here, I think the half-time break, Jordan, all about addressing what's going on in the defensive end. Sure, they've got some problems on the offensive end as well, but it's really, they fish up the same level of defensive effort. I think it's going to be very difficult to see a way in which they can shoot their way out of it. They're not going to shoot their way out of it. What they've got to do is defend their way, grind this game, and if anything, try and make the game ugly. See the way the Dominican Republic move the ball, they run their nice little flex cuts, they get it through some motion, and then when it gets to the on-ball situation, they're getting to the rim. So perhaps even Jordan may even want to look at a zone defense. You can understand why they might be hesitant to that, because you look at the Dominican Republic shooting at 50%, 8 of 16 from the three-point line, they might feel a little exposed, but more of the same on the defensive end is not going to get it done for Jordan.
Well, Ahmad Al-Duere certainly getting it done in terms of his part, but he needs a bit of help. 21 points, 6 rebounds in the first half.
That is an outstanding individual performance, and it's not like any of the teams in this competition are going to go in and they're facing Jordan not realising he's going to be a focal point, but it's Dar Tucker with his penetration. He gets to the rim, usually it's the help and the little dish off. We've seen that a few times, and then it comes down to the third man rotation. So he's holding him up his end of the bargain. Dar Tucker, he never sat out that half, played the full 20 minutes, as you mentioned, only 4 of 11 from the field. Some of them really, really tough shots. He needs the ball, and he needs to be a prime offensive focus. We've led this team in scoring throughout the qualifying, but it's the type of shots you've got to create for him, not just the volume of shots.
We saw briefly Ronald Roberts there, who leads the way for Dominican Republic with 11 points, 5 of 6 from the field off the bench, 4 rebounds as well. And Ronald Ramon not too far behind with 10 points off 4 of 6 shooting.
Yeah, Roberts, very good player, good size. I know a little bit about him. He signed with the Adelaide 36ers last season, but got injured in the pre-season and never actually played. But we saw enough of him to know his strength, and tremendous athlete. Certainly no signs of any injuries in his performance here this afternoon.
The two Ronalds both born in the United States. Ramon was born in New York City, spent 4 years playing at the University of Pittsburgh. And Ronald Roberts was born in New Jersey. He was an NBA D-League All-Star in 2016. He's bounced around Europe since then and just signed with the 2017 French champions, Elan Chalon. Those two really stepping up for Dominican Republic.
Yeah, my word, they got a lot of talent in the Dominican Republic. You've seen that. And just imagine Al Horford and Karl Anthony Towns thrown into that lineup.
Possession by possession here. Even if we don't score, they score. Plenty of time left in this game. Plenty time. On the defensive end. Starts on the defense. When we get stops, we can run. It starts on defense, okay? Let's chip away. Let's chip away every possession.
And that defensive transition starts as soon as the shot goes up and you don't get the offensive boards. Their defensive transition, in fact, their transition from offense to defense and defense to offense is poor. It's very hard to pick up some cheap baskets if you're not going to get out there and sprint the lane. So both ends, they need to pick it up. And certainly the defensive transition, we saw a lot of early baskets, some of them coming from the three-point line for the Dominican Republic. So a lot of work to be done, as you could hear in that last address before the start of the second half.
Here we go, we're ready for the start of the third quarter with Dominican Republic leading Jordan by 11, 47-36. Jordan start with the ball as they look to reduce the arrears to single digits again. Ibrahim hands it off on the perimeter as they look to create something again. It's tough for them. Breaks kindly for Ibrahim, who is closed down by his opposite number, and he shoots off the top of the backboard.
Tough shot. Again, I give a lot of credit on that possession to the Dominican Republic. I like the way they're getting out really aggressively on the ball and not just allow Jordan to get through their sets.
Here's Liz getting free on the perimeter and throws up an air ball. Very unlike him. He's 3 of 3 from downtown before that one.
Simple pin down. You come off a stagger and a simple pin down gets him that wide open. It's a let off for Jordan.
Ibrahim going coast to coast all the way through. Couldn't complete it though. Moved around onto the baseline, back from Baez. Stepping in, they'll look for Baez again. Solano with a lovely pass. No room to pull the trigger on the shot though. Solano gets some room on the perimeter and misses. Popped away. A real pocket pick for Ulis Baez.
Can't afford that 9th turnover now for Jordan.
Liz. Vargas hands it off to Solano. No points yet. In a minute and a half of the third quarter, Vargas will try and change that on the fadeaway. Lovely high arcing shot, nothing but net.
How's the touch and the step back from Vargas? It's just feeling it down low. Oh, hello, we've got a little bit of argy-bargy going on here. And there's an unsportsmanlike foul. I think it's going against Liz.
It's the second unsportsmanlike on the Dominican Republic.
Alawadi and Liz going at it. Not sure what took place. Sure, this probably might get a review as well, you suspect. See if we can see what took place. Just, ooh, Liz, oh, there's a bit of acting going on there. Liz didn't need to do that. And then Alawadi with just a little right slap more than anything, and that's a lot of mayo. Liz puts a lot of mayo on the hit. Be interesting to see how they adjudicate this, but Liz also, the elbow to the chin, that's the one that copped him, and then as it always is the case, the retaliator gets pinged for it, but perhaps on review, you might see a couple of unsportsmanlike on both.
I think it was the double unsportsmanlike was called, wasn't it?
There's the elbow and slap. The one to the head's going to be the more dangerous one, although there was not a lot in it.
So we have one unsportsman discard. This is the same. How many seconds we have? 23 on the shot clock. Go. Okay, so 23 disqualification, 5 unsportsman.
Wow.
You show it. 23 to go.
Gee whiz, that's a significant penalty. Alawadi's going to get kicked out of the game.
Not what Jordan want, down by 13 here at the start of the second half.
See,
only the first game in Group G, and it's getting feisty already.
It is, the action by the official suggesting it was a punch. That wasn't a punch, he just slapped him. The elbow to the head. It wasn't a punch, it was just a slap. I'm not sure either one of those was any worse than the other. I would have thought a couple of unsportsmanlike fouls for each of them. Out of bounds, get on with it.
Again, I'd agree.
Just a little slap, Liz, come on, you got to do better than that. We don't see that in this game. Well, we shouldn't anyway.
Alawadi is done.
Wow.
Oh, Jordan done. Can they fight back from a 13-point deficit? Short-handed now, without Musa Alawadi, who scored in double figures on average in his last 3 major tournaments. Even more responsibility on the shoulders of this man, Dar Tucker. Trying to create some room on the perimeter around the screen of Alduere. He pulls up off one leg, misses the shot. Confirmation there that there was some unsportsmanlike on Liz as well. Rojas to Baez, who hands it off to Liz. Around the screen of Baez, who's free on the perimeter to pull the trigger on a 3. It's flat and short. Ibrahim. Not seen too much from Saeed Abbas. Tucker. And an offensive foul on Abbas.
Abbas just trying to roll. Take a look at it. Here we see, there's the screen. And then, oh my.
There's 2 fouls on him, 3 on Jordan already here in the third.
That is, to me, again, we're seeing in slow motion, but that to me is a flop. Got to be able to stand up. We don't want that in the game, surely, do we?
Everything seems to be going against Jordan right now. Solano. Rojas. Wild off the window. It comes back though to Bays, who puts it in to rub some salt in the wide open Jordan wound.
Jordan got to be careful here not to get caught up in the emotion of the game and start arguing the ref. They got to find a way to play through it.
Oh, Tucker driving all the way through, but Vargas slamming it against his backboard.
We've got a bit going on here. You see Tucker going to the rack, and that's a good block. Tucker thought it might have hit the rim, but that was pinned on, hit the board, but that was pinned on the board by Baez.
Dominican Republic up by 15. And Jordan really struggling to find a way to create shots. Ibrahim high off the window this time to beat the shot blocker Vargas, but he couldn't get it to drop down, and there's another foul on Ibrahim. It's 4 on Jordan after only 3 minutes and 20 seconds of the quarter.
Well, clearly they got the message to try and up the tempo on the defense, but this is just that's an accident. Little tap on the head. Freddie Ibrahim there. No malice at all, and you saw him quickly try to apologise.
Rojas. Solano. Victor Liz, and there is foul number 5 after only 3.5 minutes. So there'll be perhaps plenty of foul shots for Dominican Republic to stretch their lead here before the fourth quarter.
And you see this sometimes, clearly the message is about defense, 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 and Jordan have come out, and unfortunately it's more with the hands and the holding rather than the feet and the fundamental ways in which you've got to apply yourself. And the officials aren't tolerating it. They're picking them up on those cheap fouls, and already sending a team that wants to get to the rim to the bonus this early in the period makes it really tough on your defense. And they're going to go little foul like that, just not quite in the right position again. That time by Freddie Ibrahim. And there it is, just the hands rather than the feet. That first step's got to come from the feet and the lower body, not the upper body and the arms and legs.
In fact, we were seeing all 5 of those red lights beneath the name of Jordan lit up before that foul. In fact, that was incorrect. They had 4, and then that last one was the 5th, which is why Dominican Republic now go to the line. And there's no trouble to stretch their lead. Ibrahim to Abbas. Jordan desperately in need of something. Al-Dasuki into the game for the first time. Lovely pass from Abbas, and Al-Dweri gets it to fall.
He did. Wasn't it a great pass by Abbas? As soon as before he even caught it, he knew where the pass was going on. Oh, just hang on to the ring. A little too long as well. So got lucky there. That may have been called a violation by some.
Jordan need a little bit of luck. Vargas banks it in. Dominican Republic scoring at will again. Up by 16 now as we approach the midway point of the third quarter. 8 points now for Vargas. Ibrahim looking for Al-Dweri. Al-Dweri into the lane, trying to shake off the attentions of Vargas, using that long right limb to do so.
He did. He puts the ball to the floor well for a big man, and then there's the body control. A couple of little fake steps around, gets the little step through for the easy one.
Here goes Vargas to answer back in the battle of the big men.
And that's what's happening when that penetration comes. You saw Al-Dweri there, he goes to help, and then there's that third man rotation to help out on him. Someone's got to come into the leg of Vargas on that one in order to give the big fella some help as he rolls.
Tucker still struggling really to get going as he tries to squeeze it through to Al-Dweri.
And he's trying to do it off one pass and just do it on his own. getting very little help either by screening or movement off the ball. But he's always up against, this is Dar Tucker, up against a very set and established defense. And that makes it tough. He's an outstanding player, terrific scorer. But very tough when you got the help is already knows where it's coming from. It's all built in. Makes it tough to get going.
25 minutes into this game, Jordan have still only had 3 players score. There's Tucker, got a bit of room for the 3, missed it though, and they still haven't hit a 3-point shot. A Bass offensive rebound. Al-Dweri had it taken off him, and it's recovered by Pena.
Wow.
Although he spins at centre court as he was down on the deck, and they turn it over.
Well, was the ball actually over? The ball has to be over, both all the body, the feet, and the ball, but Jordan get a break.
Now you see the turnovers. Jordan double the turnovers of Dominican Republic, who protected the ball ever so well, but haven't had too much pressure on them until at least this third quarter. Abdeen. And somebody else step up for Jordan as he goes around the screen of Abbas. Abdeen provides a 4th option finally for Jordan. His first shot of the game. They're back within 14. Just over 14 minutes to play. Mendoza. Pena. Vargas into the lane. The running hook wouldn't go. Offensive rebound and the tip as well. They get another chance and a foul this time.
Vargas just doing his work down low, getting after it, staying on with the play. Just coming from behind, a little push. Gets it, just using his size and strength. Abbas just with the reach.
Eloy Vargas, an NCAA champion with the University of Kentucky Wildcats back in 2012. He's just recently become the 3rd Dominican Republic scorer to hit double figures. That's 11 now. And this next one would make him their top scorer. A fantastic atmosphere brewing inside the Shenzhen Bay Sports Center, and you can bet it's going to heat up even more so later on. France against Germany on this court. And there's an offensive foul against Abbas, who you can see is so visibly frustrated.
And I'm not sure that's his job either. That's the second time we've seen him in the backcourt handling the ball. Now, he's got good ball handling skills and he's capable, but against extended defense, that's the time you need to get your guards involved. Even if it takes coming, hand it off to a guard, get out of there, let the guards bring it down, get into a set. Instead, Abbas just trying to do too much, gets called for the push-off.
This is 4th personal foul as well, so he's dangling by a disciplinary thread. And Jordan are dangling by a thread here, down by 16. Ramon. Mendoza. Mendoza for the long 2. Will it go off the hop? No, over the top of the backboard and grabbed by El Hamache. Sooner rather than later, Jordan need to put together a run. Foul number 2, only on Dominican Republic here in the 3rd.
Roland Roman just, again, up and in and just making life miserable for the ball carriers. And that's across the board. The bigs get up and in. As soon as they get the ball, they've got ball pressure, making it hard for Jordan to execute.
Alamarche. There he goes, spin towards the baseline from Ahmed Al-Dweri, who continues to turn it on.
Isn't he good down low? That time he's just got the feel. Doesn't turn and face, a quick drop step. Goes around and he's looking to dunk that. And Roberts gets the foul. 25 points, 6 rebounds. At a very, very healthy 11 of 14, 79% from the field.
4 of 6 from the foul line now. after the miss on that second one. 15 points the gap. 3 minutes and change remaining here in this third quarter. Mendoza. They move it around the perimeter. Pena back to Ramon. Oh, and blocked from behind by Tucker. From the blind side, and Tucker looking to turn it on, gets a taste of his own medicine. Pena.
Oh.
An anticlimax to that fantastic passage of play.
How's the block? End-to-end action now. Tucker just can't get any of these cheap ones to go.
Tucker locked and loaded for three. Got it. The first from the outside for Jordan on their 8th attempt.
He's overdue. Well overdue. 5 of 14. Now 14 points.
They were 0 of 7 from three-point range before that one. Tucker had taken 5 of those. So he's 1 of 6, finally, from long range. Jordan gets something to drop. Spinning in the lane and missing was Roberts. Can Jordan make that run now? Tucker moves it on to Alhamarche. Tucker again. Dwary looking to muscle his way down the baseline and does with the contact, and then he flexes his muscles, and Jordan have a chance to have 6 points without reply and get back in touch.
How's the strength? Just throw it into the big fella down low. They don't send a double team, and he just crab dribbles his way to his preferred spots, gets to the position on the floor he wants to get to, and without any help, he's too big, too strong, and too sophisticated in the way he goes about it. He's just combines that really good strength with good body movement, and seems to have a really high basketball IQ.
He misses the foul shot, can't grab the rebound. Mendoza does instead. 80% from the field for Dwary for 28 points, with a few free throws as well. Suero shooting on the fadeaway, missing it. Rebound Alhamarche. So a chance to make it a single-digit game before the fourth quarter. Abdeen. Tucker. Dwary directing traffic as Dasuki moves across to the near side, and they clear out. A chance to go one-on-one for Dwary. Again inside, again scoring, and this time getting the fans on their feet.
This is just one of the spectacular individual performances we've seen so far. Very early days in the tournament.
30 points inside the opening 29 minutes. 8 points is the differential. Suero. Back out to Garcia, handed off to Solano, who takes on the three and eases the pressure.
That is steadier, isn't it? Just momentum going the way of Jordan, and that snaps it ever so slightly. It's this man with the ball. Hello, he's going to start on the point guard duties.
Tucker with Dwary for company. Tucker will shoot the three this time with a hand in his face. Touch back to the man of the moment. Now look for him inside again. It's Dwary, far side of the paint to Tucker. Spins into the double team, trapped in the paint, back out. Alhamarche open for three and makes it count. And Jordan getting more scorers involved as well.
That's it. That's the point. You're spot on. And great kick out by Tucker. Did the hard work, got into the paint and found the open man.
Vargas completely open for the long two. At the buzzer, doesn't go. And Jordan have given themselves a chance with a strong finish to the third quarter. They were behind big. They have closed the gap to 8 ahead of the fourth. Dominican Republic 61, Jordan 53.
Great effort by Jordan. If you take a look at some of the stats, the field goal percentages for Jordan up to 48%, and look at Dominican Republic dropping off ever so slightly. Still a huge advantage from the three-point line, only 20% for Jordan. But that was a game you could see just getting away from Jordan. To their credit, they hung in there.
Good job. You're driving.
And Jordan, no need to compliment with Al-Dawari just down low doing his thing and just taking to the basket until you see that there. We saw that unfortunate incident. Well, maybe I was wrong. Maybe there was a bit of a clenched fist on the closer inspection, but unfortunate to see that type of action in any sport. But
Alawadi ejected.
Yeah, exactly. Got ejected for that little clip. And the Dominican Republic just chipping away, just not quite as efficient on the offensive end. Vargas doing a great job. You see their numbers, they're up above 50% at halftime, and that quarter had similar looks, just not as effective at finishing some plays. Tucker, he got himself going with a made three-pointer, but his numbers are a little down, 5 of 15. He's got the 14 points at 33% and only 1 of 7 from the three-point line.
Now Dwary hauling Jordan back into contention. 21 points at the half for him. You know, he didn't score for the first 4.5 minutes of that third quarter and then had 9 points over the last 5.5 minutes. When Jordan so desperately needed somebody to step up, their main man did. They're still down by 8 at the start of the fourth quarter, though, and Dominican Republic start with the ball. Looking to make this a double-digit lead again. There's a foul called against Al Hamache on the far side off the ball.
Was it? Not sure.
Yeah, second on Al Hamache.
Right.
Jordan were at the foul limit very early in the third quarter. They turned up the intensity on defense. Mendoza. Solano. The crossover gets him free for the three.
How effective has it been, that middle on ball? They run their motion, you see their baseline cuts coming off screens, but ultimately all of it, a lot of the time, it just ends in that middle on ball, and very, very effective.
Tucker inside, in traffic. And Al Dwary was there again, ready to stuff it down. Instead, a trip to the line for Tucker.
It is another. How explosive is Tucker when he gets his feet underneath him? Two-time D-League/G League dunk competition winner, so we know he's got some hops, and that time, another aggressive drive. That first step uses that power, get past the defense, and with those legs and that explosiveness, he can just go up through any type of contact.
$16 points has been the largest lead for the Dominican Republic. Jordan halved that to 8 by the end of the third quarter. They're back within 9 now. We should, at the start of this quarter, just emphasize how significant this first game is. It is the opening game of the tournament, but if either of these two are to stand any chance of getting out of this group, they have to win this one.
Absolutely. And when you look at the Germany and France, both of those would have legitimate claims to be winning a medal. Have a look, this just off the ball. I think they've called that an illegal back screen.
For both of these teams, it's the two big guns to play in the next two games. Jordan play France on Tuesday, then Germany on Thursday. For Dominican Republic, it's the other way around. To get through, they will need to win this one and then cause a big upset as well.
It would be a massive upset.
Tucker. Taking his time, Tucker. Looking for Al Dwary. The double team arrived. He passed out of it. Al Hamache pass it in.
Al Dwary, just a game. They're playing through him almost every possession. This time, he provides the very nice assist.
His first assist to add to the 30 points and 8 rebounds. It's only a 7-point game now. Solano, no way through. Shot clock down to the final 4 seconds. Jab step, takes it on the left-hand drive, cutting down the baseline. Vargas misses at the buzzer. Al Dwary there to put him off. Abdeen. Al Dwary misses it. Would you believe it?
Possibly the easiest shot he's had all afternoon, and misses the bunny. that could be fatigue too. He's logged some significant minutes and been required to do a lot.
He was shooting 81% from the field before that miss.
What an effort to run the floor. Just, we spoke about the defensive transition of Jordan being a little vulnerable. That time it was the Dominican Republic. Aldewari out running him, but just didn't have the energy at the end to finish off a simple play. And look at him, he's been over. Hopefully he's okay, because if he goes, there's going to be some problems for Jordan.
Ahmad Aldewari has played 30 of the 32 minutes and put up 17 shots.
And in those 2 minutes he wasn't on the floor. It did not look good for Jordan. He missed it on camera there. He was bent over. Hopefully he's okay.
Solano for 3, falls short. And Jordan have a platform from which to continue their comeback.
This has been a terrific performance by Jordan, but just the spark's gone out of the game for the Dominican Republic. Every time they're coming down the floor, they're into set action. It's very scripted. I like their motion, but perhaps need to do it with a little bit more vigor rather than just running to spots.
Could there be a first ever World Cup win for Jordan in the script, you wonder? Dar Tucker looking to continue their comeback from 16 down. Tucker bringing his dancing shoes to the World Cup.
Now, how there is not weak side help on this one. Great, see it there, great drive, but that help comes way too late. There was no secret about what he was going to do. How there is no help, that's just a defensive mistake.
There's 18 points now for Tucker.
Travel.
And a travel against Sadiel Rojas. It's turning sour for Dominican Republic. They're only up by 5 now and a turnover.
As it looks like they've become really nervous. They're trying to just ease this game home rather than continue to go ahead and play it. And whether it's fatigue or the moment, but this has been a team that looks like deer in the headlights type stuff, given they've had the 16-point lead and now looking really nervous.
We talked about how well they were protecting the ball as well. They only had 6 assists, six turnovers, I beg your pardon, not too long ago. They've committed 4 of the last 5 turnovers in the game.
And they're up to 10 for the game. 10 in itself is not great, but it's not horrific. But it's the timing of them, as you mentioned.
Here's a look at a burst to the basket from Dar Tucker. That one rejected, but he's been persistent and determined and got going again since.
Oh, that's a tough shot by Vargas. We saw that earlier on. He's got great touch for a big man. There it is on show yet again.
Dominican Republic only up by 5 now, though, despite those 12 points and 6 assists out in the block from Eloy Vargas.
As you saw in the graphic, 31-7 bench scoring, but as you'd expect, Jordan don't go to their bench as nearly as much as the Dominican Republic, and what's coming off the bench is nowhere near as talented.
They've had 48 of their 59 points, Jordan, from this man Aldewari and from Dar Tucker. And this man has started to step up as he banks in the 3. Ahmad Al-Hamashe, 8 points in the quarter.
Well, that time they did send the double, and they found the penalty when the double team comes, and it's a 2-point ball game.
From 16 down, Jordan within a whisker. What a story that might just be developing here on game day 1 in Group G. Ramon gets it back on the outside from Bears. And an offensive foul. Everything going against Dominican Republic right now. So much in this game has turned around.
Players just trying to do a little too much. Have a look at the left shoulder. Just the slightest shuffling of the feet. Not a lot in it. Perhaps that's just got more to do with momentum. There you see the double team. The rotation comes just ever so slightly too late. And Jordan riding momentum.
Now can they get level? Ibrahim gets it back far side, looking to work with Abbas, and a foul called against Ramon. That's the 4th on Dominican Republic. Joey Stiping's team in the ascendancy, and with time to spare, 6.5 minutes to play, they have dramatically turned the tide in their favour. Here on the coast of China in Shenzhen.
Liz coming back in, and he's the sort of guy they need on times like this. The team's starting to get a little tight. It's those guys that don't mind the big occasion, like to step up, not afraid of taking big shots, and he's one of those.
Ibrahim hangs it high, even too high for El Duere, but he gets a second attempt and he'll go to the line to try and tie the game.
Ever so close to the alley-oop coming off. They're getting around him. Have a look. Very, very close. Could have been foul then, but then we see it here. Just a little bit of arm by Roberts. Not a lot in it. El Duere, just terrific to stay with it. After the missed alley-oop, gathered himself, didn't quit on the play, and gets rewarded.
6'11", 2 meters 10, 26-year-old centre who plies his trade with Fenerbahce, is dominating down low in this one. And the next foul shot would tie this game up. And he gets it. Wow. Would you believe it?
Nope.
32 points for El Duere, and Jordan are back level from 16 down.
15 minutes ago, you would have never thought that this would have been the case.
Liz. Roberts back to Liz. Can he provide the spark the Dominican Republic need? Open shot, far side. Solano doesn't go. Listen to the roar from the Chinese fans and the few that have travelled from Jordan. Far side, Aldasuki. Back to Ibrahim. Can Jordan get their noses in front here? 3-point shot. Ibrahim wouldn't go. Liz recovers on the rebound. And this is it now, 5.5 minutes to decide who has a shot at making the second round. Liz gets away from the defense and scores to try and steady the ship for the Caribbeans.
Good drive by Liz. That's what I was talking about earlier on. Just those guys that just instinctively have that knack. They want the ball in their hands at big moments, and right now every moment is big for both teams.
A turnover from El Duere. It leads to the open dunk for Galvez Solano. What about that? Dominican Republic with a retaliation. Having lost their 16-point lead, they are back up by 4.
El Duere just trying to do a little too much. Saw the opening, went behind, got the crossover, lost control of it. And it's very expensive for the easy transition too. Cheap baskets are vital right now, particularly for the Dominican Republic. But how the game has just switched. Earlier on, it was Dominican Republic that couldn't miss, but right now it's transformed where Jordan are shooting at 49%. Dominican Republic has dropped down to 45.
Where you at? No, I want you. We're going power for Duere here. Jordan, you set the back screen. All right? And then if we pass the Dar, Zuzu, on ball screen, you and, Hamasha, you and Zuzu. You and, Dar. Okay, on ball screen for Dar. Who's Dar in for? Dar is in for Zuzu.
Yep, and to no surprise, that timeout called, getting that crucial moment, every possession counts, and it's scoreboard pressure that's really helping Jordan, so they don't want Dominican Republic to slip away, but Al-Daweri is going to be the destination of this play they're drawing up. Ends in a little bit of a middle on ball, but it's the roll-off and it's the a pass ahead of that they're looking to go to, and why wouldn't you with the big fella on 32 points, shooting at 13 of 17, 76%. Wow. Let's not forget about the 8 rebounds either.
Tucker, who's got 18 points. Those two combining to deadly effect. Jordan within 4, having briefly got level. Tucker throws it wild off the window, and he'll go to the line for 2.
They gave him the baseline. They took away the middle penetration and his left hand. Tucker just going to the rim. Again, the help's coming really, really late. When he's got the ball in his hands, I mean, there are times he looks like he'd rather pass a kidney stone than rather the ball, and yet they don't have the defense set up. Take the odds to someone else beating you, because between Tucker and Al-Daweri, they're the main 2 guys, and no excuse why you shouldn't have someone on that weak side underneath the basket.
That was the 4th foul on Ronald Roberts as well for the Dominican Republic. And Tucker hitting his foul shots when it matters. Having missed a few in the first half, he's now 7 of 10. And he's hit his last 6 in a row. 3-point shot, really good luck. Nothing but nylon for Luis Monteiro.
That'll ease.
Second from the outside.
Yeah, that'll ease the pressure as well for the Dominican Republic.
And there's the 3-point shooting numbers. 46% Dominican Republic, 11 of 24. That's the difference right now. Now Dean getting away. Underarm layup will fall off the glass.
It certainly didn't personify athleticism, but it's not how, it's how many. And just crafty the way in which gets to the basket.
The Jordanian comeback has coincided with getting other players scoring.
Spot on.
Here's Liz. Turns on the edge of the paint, puts it up one way on the fake, misses the other way, and Al-Daweri another rebound. That's 9 for him in the game. It's a 1-possession game again. Tucker to take on the 3 with a hand in his face. Missed it. Abdeen the offensive rebound.
That's where the fundamentals kick in. Long-range shot like that, you've got to get your legs into someone and box out.
Al-Daweri making his move. Can Abdeen find him? Instead, he finds the finish, and they're back within 1.
Abdeen is never going to beat anyone with blistering pace, but just the guile and the craftiness, great body control, and finishes it around the rim.
He's 3 of 3 from the field for 6 points now. Liz, defense allowed him to shoot. He missed the shot. Roberts the rebound. Can he muscle it up over the top of Al-Daweri? No. And here we go. Is this the moment for Jordan? Tucker. Oh, he turns it over. Straight into the hands of Liz.
Just a little too much. Tucker picked the ball up a little too early and out of control. And another turnover for Jordan. Here it is. Comes there. Just got caught in the air. Again, fundamentals. Come to a jump stop, keep control, but when you're in the air, but there's my man. Aberdeen.
Jordan have had a couple of opportunities now to take the lead, having trailed by 16. Not taken either of them. Can Dominican Republic hold off the comeback?
Abbas back into the game.
Monteiro to Ramon. Guarded by Abdeen. Will they turn it over? They will. Tucker charging down the floor and giving Jordan the lead from 16 down.
My goodness. Mendoza just tripped on the line. And just an unforced error.
2 minutes and change remaining. Mendoza looking to turn it back in Dominican Republic's favour. And now we may well have a series of lead changes as these two fight to the finish.
I don't like this. Abbas with the ball carrying duties. Already had a couple of turnovers in the backcourt.
Al-Dweri directing traffic again. Backing down his man, looking to do it all himself. No stopping the monster.
For the life of me, I do not understand why there's no help coming. The man has 34 points at 78%, and they're just playing him one-on-one.
Worth repeating, 34 points for Al-Dweri. Liz. He'll go to the line, a foul on a Bass, and I think, is that a Bass done?
It should be. If it is on a Bass, he comes over to help. Yep. Again, it's Liz trying to make something happen. There we saw the turnover. Mendoza just tripped on his own feet, and that's costly. And down the other end, see, no, everyone's just standing around guarding their men and just watching him play one-on-one. He is too good, too big, too skilled.
Zaida Bass averaged team highs of 15.2 points and 8.4 rebounds when Jordan were last at the World Cup in 2010. He fouls out without a point here, having missed all of his shots, 0 of 5 from the field. He leaves it with his teammates to try and finish this job and complete this comeback, as Victor Liz looks to put Dominican Republic back ahead. And he does, the lead swinging one way and then the other. A minute and a half remaining in the opening game here in Group G, and it is going right down to the wire. Dar Tucker dancing with the defense again. Misses the shot high off the window. This is it now. Just over a minute that could very well define the World Cup campaigns of these two. Montero to Mendoza. Mendoza using Vargas, creating some space for Montero, who misses. Big offensive rebound from Rojas. Here goes Liz into the lane. He misses as well. They grab it with Tucker. Oh, just turned around Alamarche in time, but he had his pocket picked anyway. Another costly turnover from Jordan.
Tucker's just got to take control. He's got to bring that ball up, tried to advance the pass. Just a costly turnover.
Their 16th turnover of the game. Shot clock winding down. Inside against Al-Dweri, who may have got a piece of it, but Montero picked up the pieces. And Dominican Republic lead by 3 with 28 seconds remaining. Timeout called by Jordan.
Wow, couple of costly turnovers. Here it is. This is the one Tucker's just got to take control of the game, bring the ball up the floor, down the other end. Wow. Tough play. Again, boxing out. Mendoza with the miss. Goes up. Montero just comes in and tidies up the work.
I want to try to get a quick score here. Let's go. Dar will run Jordan for you. Come up. Query on ball screen. Jordan, you set a back screen. Amin at your corner. All right? Dar, come on. You get to the basket. Get to the basket. I'm out here. You get to the basket. You got that team in the corner. All right?
That's right. They do need.
If we don't make a basket, foul right away.
Correct. That's good instruction. They do need a very quick basket. Even then, they're probably still going to have to foul because there's only going to be any time difference between the shot clock and the game clock when Dominican Republic get it. But the first part of the equation is possibly going to be the toughest, and that's trying to find a good quick basket. You don't want a rubbish shot. You don't want to just go out here and take any shot just because it's early. You got to make sure you put it in, and I like the call with Dar Tucker trying to get to the rim.
Confirmation of that huge double-double for Ahmad Al-Dweri, 34 points, 10 rebounds now. Will it come in defeat, though? Ahmad Al-Hamarche to inbound the ball, 14.1 seconds differential as they advance the ball into the front court.
And just expect Rojas trying to do everything he can. They no secret where the ball's going. Going to this man Tucker's hands.
Tucker, here he goes. Now, what a hard foul that was. And you can see Al Hamarche calling for the unsportsmanlike.
Well, he's got good claims based on what we saw in the first quarter or the first half. Tucker, as we knew, was no secret what was going to happen. Just get to the rim. Oh, might have got away with a little travel just at the end. 3 steps rather than the 2. And I think it was Vargas with the hard foul. Again, I don't think it is unsportsmanlike, but I'm only based on being consistent what we saw in the first half.
Tucker's 7 of 10 from the line, but he's hit his last 6 in a row.
Needless to say, these are big free throws.
No problems with the first. Joey Steinbeck getting what he wanted, a quick score. So long as Tucker can hit the second as well and get Jordan back within 1. Basically 1 shot clock remaining. And they are within 1 again as Tucker hits 24 for the game. And a timeout called, this time from Dominican Republic, from coach Nestor Che Garcia.
Garcia's got a decision to make whether he advances the ball. I don't think he will, because you advance the ball, you're going to, if the shot clock goes down to 14, and that's going to give the opponents another chance. What he's going to do here is he's going to primarily talk about a press break. You know Jordan are going to be up and in. That's how in which you advance the ball into the front court to make sure there's no turnovers.
Anda bien al medio para que quede espacio y salte. Acá. Víctor que vino hasta acá, si puede entrar, ojo. No se está tirando, pide que tengo timeout. Que salió
Right. They got a little elevator play when they get it down the other end. You saw that I couldn't understand who it is, but it's going to be an elevator play. That's where you got your 2 bigs coming up. There'll be a cut from the basket out to the top of the key. They close the gates to try and get a shot, but wow, they're not. Well, I don't know why Garcia's doing this, because maybe he doesn't have confidence in his backcourt, because this is going to give Jordan another chance. Because now there's
differential now 10.2 seconds.
Well, there's 14 on the shot clock. Correct.
Ramon to inbound, a huge play in the closing seconds. He gets the ball into Liz. Dominican Republic up by 1. They've led by as many as 16. Victor Liz is fouled.
Tucker, a soft foul too. Just sliding his feet. Let's have a look. Just out of position, just with the left. Gee whiz, that's not a lot in that. I'm sure that same foul would have been called if it wasn't in the last 24 seconds.
Liz has only taken 2 foul shots in the game. He's hit them both.
That was real surprising. I'm really surprised that Garcia decided to advance the ball and not just try and hang on to it. Maybe he doesn't have confidence in the ability to knock down free throws. We'll see real soon, won't we, with Liz now under the pressure.
What pressure for the first one as he hits 14 points to lead 4 double-digit scorers for Dominican Republic. This is the difference between a 2 and a 3-pointer that Jordan needs in the final 18.3 seconds.
I think Jordan will pull a timeout if it does go.
And it does.
And now they will advance the ball. It comes down to now what you believe in. If you believe in your free throw shooting ability and your ability to get stops, you look at a quick 2 with perhaps an option for a 3 rather than going straight for the 3. But if you're going to go that route, you've got to It's got to be a quick two. And we saw the last play work, get it into Tucker's hands. Not a lot of help on the weak side. He gets to the rim, they score quick. Then you extend your defense, try and get a turnover. Or they might just settle and say, well, this is our one shot at it. Let's draw up a 3-point play and go for the 3-ball. Still enough time to consider both options.
That beat's in a corner. Jordan, take it in. Get it to Dar. All right? Then sprint. Easy sprint to here. I want you, Dar, you coming off Dwary on ball. Jordan, set a back screen. Dar, penetrate. If you get to the basket, score it. Look from I'm not saying or Jordan coming off that screen. Hey. Hey, when you set the screen, look, set the screen and come this way. Yeah. Be ready to shoot. Hey, here we go.
Wow, really good insight we bringing to the viewers. See what's being drawn up. And the last instructions, of course, if you come up short, they're going to need a foul.
What a way to whet the appetite in Group G. The main course up next, France against Germany, but this has been full of drama and twists and turns all the way, and it comes down to perhaps the final possession. 18.3 seconds left on the clock. Dominican Republic up by 3. Tasuki gets it into Tucker. Tucker looking to work with Aldweri, who moves into the paint, back out. There's the 3-point shot, wide open, off the mark, wouldn't go. Big rebound for Monteiro and a foul.
Great execution, drew it up beautifully, got a wide open look, couldn't ask for more than that. Like I said, it was always one at that time difference you had, whether you take the quick one or you go for the 3, and they decide to go for the 3. And that's they're only 3 of 14 at 21%. Now for me, and we're all different, there's not necessarily a right or wrong answer, but with 18 seconds left and what we saw the play before, get it into Tucker, just get him to the rim, take the 2, and they come down and miss, you may not need a 3 after that. Like you said, there's a miss. So game's still alive. They need him to miss this one. Jordan's still in with a chance, and now there is no other option other than the 3-ball.
You could cut the tension with a knife. He does get it to fall. It's a 2-possession game, only 7.5 seconds to play. Luis Monteiro with a big foul shot. Abdeen running out of time. Gets the shot away. It doesn't go, and that will do it. Dominican Republic survive an almighty scare as Jordan overturned a 16-point deficit, but Dominican Republic came back to win it by 4, 80-76.
Now Dasuki Hibi not sleeping all that well after that wide open missed 3, but there's a lot more goes into the game. Outstanding character by the Jordan team. They looked cooked for most of this game and then just kept chipping away, and from the midway in the 3rd period onwards, it was really their game. As we take a look at the stats and the field goal percentages just going through the roof and the 2-pointers for Jordan, and then it just continued to improve right throughout the game. Across the board, the steals, Dominican Republic, that's what they're renowned for. They got the most of that. Points from turnovers pretty even, and points in the paint 48, and Aldweri was responsible for the vast majority of those with 34. And look at Liz. Spent a lot of time on the bench. They look different when he's out there. He's such a confidence player, but when the moment came, Liz stepped up and produced some big baskets.
58 points combined for Aldweri and Dar Tucker, but it was the balanced offense of the Dominican Republic, who had 4 players scoring in double figures, led by those 15 of Victor Liz. They had 12 from Vargas, 11 from Roberts, 10 from Ramon, and they got the job done in the end after surviving an almighty scare late on. A 3-pointer, an open 3-pointer that would have tied it up in the closing seconds from Dasuki. But instead, Nestor Che Garcia's team get the win, only their 3rd ever at a FIBA World Cup.
It is, and this man down low, he did it not only with the scoring, but with the passing. And although they've come up short, it's hard to see how Aldoueri is not the player of the game. He was nothing short of spectacular. 34 and 10, the numbers speak for themselves. And you see it down low, he catches it. And I repeat, really surprised that we never saw a lot of trapping, a lot of double teaming going on when he caught the ball and just have someone else beat you. They do have others that can knock down shots, but he was fantastic. And eventually they got a spread of scorers, but we look at the Dominican Republic, and this man on your screen right here came in, big moments, great self-confidence, able to get to the rim. Liz only ended up with 4 of 11 from the field for his 15 points, but a couple of them really big. That layup to the basket and also a couple of free throws were huge for the Dominican Republic.
You know, I said 4 scorers in double figures for the Dominican Republic. They also had 3 players on 9 points. It's an incredible spread of scorers.
They do, and they're going to do it by committee. And you can tell just by their offensive sets, they get it through some hands. And unlike what you saw in contrast with Jordan down the other end of the floor, some beautiful athleticism that time by Solana. Getting up, and you always felt for the majority of the game that the Dominican Republic had it well within their grasp, but a few costly turnovers. Dar Tucker, he eventually got things going, didn't he? He ended up with the 24 points, 7 of 19, slow start for him. Only the 1 of 8 from the 3-point line. He's got a lot more to give, but still was very much a focal point.
And Coach Nestor Che Garcia's team still in the mix to try and cause an upset to reach the second round for Jordan. It is going to be mission impossible, surely, from here now.
That's right, and you can see the relief as well of the excitement, because he's a veteran coach, Garcia, been around a long time, seen great success with a number of different national teams, and he understands that you drop this one and really no chance. It's going to be tough for them, but they showed enough here this afternoon to say that, hey, if Germany or France aren't completely engaged, they've got enough talent to cause an upset.
Confirmation of that 80-76 win for Dominican Republic. France against Germany is up next in around 2 hours' time. Make sure you join us for that one. One of the matchups of game day 1. It's been a pleasure having your company here in Shenzhen.
Ja. Jetzt geht's gleich los. 2x2, 1 triple five.
Aussage 1, tagesaktuelle Vorbereitung, Stimmung, Anspannung im Team und drumherum. Aussage 2, verändern wir irgendwie den Winkel, Stimmung, Halle, sportliche Einschätzung, Frankreich, Deutschland. Ich höre dir einfach zu, ja, und erzähl irgendwas. Meinetwegen kannst du auch darüber reden, dass ich ja gerade irgendwas. Was auch immer du willst. So you can start when you want.
We can start when we want.
It's okay.
We wait for...
Weil wir, guck mal, wir sind da hinten drauf. Das passt.
Also, ist da der Basti? Na, du kleiner Mann? Hast du schon ein Spiel kommentiert heute? Wenn nicht, dann wird es aber mal allmählich Zeit. Hm? Zack, zügig. Ab in die Tonkabine.
Passt, wir können.
Okay.
Passt, wir können, dann beginnen die 2 gleichen. Aussage 1.
Erster Spieltag sozusagen hier in der Shenzhen Arena. Benny hat gerade das erste Spiel absolviert. Interessant war, Benny, dass tatsächlich die Zuschauer, die Chinesen, sozusagen ihre Neutralität aufgegeben haben und dann plötzlich zum Underdog